Real Madrid play Liverpool tomorrow in round 4 of the Champions League in what is probably, arguably, the biggest away game of the season for us so far. Going to Anfield, coming up against Liverpool. I mean, it's only just the group stages of the Champions League, but it's just such a big match that the occasion doesn't matter. As long as it's not pre-season, you know you are in for a phenomenal game. And I know for a fact that my butt is going to be glued to my seat from 6:30 onwards to watch everything. The build-up, the hype, the attention, everything up until the 8 o'clock kickoff. And then I cannot wait to watch the game. Let's start with the table and form of Real Madrid and Liverpool leading up to this game tomorrow, where we are 5th, but we have got maximum points from our 3 games. The only reason we're 5th is because of goal difference. PSG have scored 13. Well, I'm not going to go through all that. We'll just get the goal difference. PSG has a +10. Bayern has a +10. Inter has +9. Arsenal has +8. And they're all ahead of us. And we are there with a +7. And the last team who have taken maximum points from their first 3 games and won all 3. Liverpool, our opponents for tomorrow, are sitting in 10th. They have got 2 wins and 1 loss. And have got a +4 goal difference with 8 scored and 4 against. With a win against Atletico Madrid, which is 3-2. I did not know it does that. That's pretty cool. A loss against Galatasaray in Turkey. And then another win against Eintracht Frankfurt 5-1 in Germany. To be honest with how easy it is, I mean not easy, but how likely you are to go through the group stage, the loss doesn't really mean much for Liverpool. I mean, we suffered how many losses in the group stage last year and we still managed to go through. We did end up having to play more games, and that game was against a Man City, not some small team. So that is a bit problematic, but really and truly, you don't need to win every single game. Obviously, with the format change this year where the higher up you finish, the more likely you are to play, not likely, but you will play all your games at home in the second leg. That's obviously massive, but just in terms of going through, 1 or 2 losses or a few drop points isn't the end of the world, though you have to admit Liverpool would have liked to win. But anyway, moving on to Liverpool's formation and starting 11. I don't want to talk about Real Madrid, we'll get to that after. But for Liverpool's, let's focus on theirs now. They have 3 key players out. Alexander Isak is out. He didn't train today. Frimpong, kind of a key player, kind of not, because Szoboszlai has kind of been playing right back anyway for them most of this season. And then Alisson in goal, who's out. And how do you say his brother's name? Mamardashvili, I think that's how you say it, will be playing in goal. Starting with Alisson. Now, people might argue either or in terms of Alisson being the best goalkeeper in the world. But for me, Alisson is the second best goalkeeper in world football, with the number 1 being Thibaut Courtois. And the fact that the second best goalkeeper in the world, in my view, is out of tomorrow's game is massive for us. Because sometimes Alisson pulls off some saves that are absolutely ridiculous. And you're just like, how has he managed to do that? And I don't need to be seeing any of that tomorrow, or I don't want to be seeing any of that tomorrow. So the fact that he is out is a massive plus. Now, what isn't a massive plus is the fact that Alexander Isak is out. Because that means this man, Ekitike, is guaranteed to start. And I want to talk about him. Because personally, I think this Brett is a baller. Ekitike is so dirty. He is phenomenal. Do you know what? I've seen this guy play a lot this year. And I don't know whether Isak is going to start when he comes back. I don't know whether they're going to go profile and price over performance. I don't think they would, but you don't know. But I see no reason why you would drop this guy, because he has been phenomenal. I remember seeing at the start of the season, they asked him who your favourite player is or your footballing idol is, something like that. And he said, I think he said a couple of names, but one of the names that stood out to me is he said Karim Benzema. He said Karim Benzema, the former Ballon d'Or winner and the Real Madrid legend, is one of his footballing idols, and I see it. I see it in the way this man plays, because he is one of those strikers. I'm going to use Tchouameni. Pretend Tchouameni is Ekitike. He is one of those strikers who doesn't stand here in front of the centre-backs. He's one of those strikers, the Karim Benzema prototype strikers that are here. They're in the middle of the park where Guler or Bellingham is, trying to pick up the ball and trying to play passes and trying to do that midfield role. They're up here where Camavinga is, or down here where Vinny is. They're a false 9 that gets involved in the play and the build-up. And after getting involved and helping their team, then they start running towards the defence and running past the defence and running through the defence into the open spaces. I hate it. No, I love it. I love it. I hate the fact that we have to come up against it. I feel like it is so problematic. I saw Benzi give many centre-backs headaches over the years doing that for Real Madrid, and I don't like the fact that we're going to be coming up against that tomorrow, because he is a baller, Ekitike, and he is definitely going to cause us problems. I only want to talk about 2 other players in the Liverpool team, because I do feel like this is going to be their team, more or less. I want to talk about Wirtz, and I want to talk about Salah. Starting with Wirtz. Wirtz has been playing poorly. He has been playing shockingly. I mean, not shockingly, but he's not really playing like the player they bought. Not everyone can start their season or their career at a new club like Jude Bellingham did at Real Madrid. No, it's not for everyone. Not everyone could do that. Some people started their careers at a new club like Kylian Mbappe did, which is just a bit slower. Now, in terms of output, Mbappe was doing a lot more, and even performances, Mbappe is doing a lot more than Wirtz is doing right now. But Wirtz is just one of those players like Mbappe who he might take time to get to the level you know he's going to get to, or the level you know he's at, or can be at. But once he gets there, then you just know it is going to be a problem. And it's only a matter of time before this man becomes a problem. My only question, or not question, but the only thing I hope is that he doesn't decide to become the Wirtz we know tomorrow. I hope he takes his time, and whether he does it over the weekend, whether he does it in 3 months, I don't care. Just don't do it tomorrow. Don't become the Florian Wirtz everyone knows you can be tomorrow against us, because I've seen that happen way too many times against Real Madrid, and I don't need that in my life. Continue doing what you're doing with the level you've been playing at, please. And finally, Mo Salah. You can't talk about Liverpool without talking about Mo Salah. Do you know what? This might sound a bit of a hot take, but I've never been concerned about Mo Salah whenever we've played Liverpool. Never. Never. Actually, no. Except for that Champions League final where Ramos took him out. That was the only time. Besides that, I've never been scared of Salah. Do you know why? Because we've always had Ferland Mendy. And Ferland Mendy hasn't always stopped Salah from scoring or assisting. But Salah tends to have very, very quiet, dead games against Real Madrid most of the time. And it's because of Mendy. Mendy shuts this guy down. Like, ridiculously well. To the point where he's still a threat. He's still Mo Salah. And he's still getting an odd goal or an odd assist. But besides that moment or that flash, he has a very, very, very quiet game. And Mendy does phenomenal against him. And that's why I've never had a concern coming up against Salah or Liverpool because of Mendy. We're not going to be using Mendy tomorrow. We're going to be using Alvaro Carreras. And not counting the Atletico Madrid game in which he was very, very poor. This guy's record besides that has been spotless. Spotless. He has been fantastic. And he's fresh off scoring his first goal for Real Madrid. The only thing is, the Barcelona game, though he shut Lamine Yamal down, I don't know how fit Lamine Yamal was. Because this guy was coming back from an injury. And when there's a big game coming up, you take the injections, you take the painkillers, and you make sure you're ready to partake in the big game for your team because your team needs you. So I don't know how fully fit Lamine Yamal was, but Carreras ate him up still. So he has been phenomenal, and tomorrow is going to be his biggest test, arguably, and showcase whether he is in fact him or whether he still needs some time to become him. We'll find out tomorrow. But anyway, let's move on to Real Madrid starting 11. To the Real Madrid starting 11. I've got to be honest, this is one of the most unsure I have been for starting 11 in a minute. Because we'll get into it in a second. Let's go through the 11 first. We have Thibaut in goal. We have Fede, Huijsen, Militao and Carreras, the backline. The exact same backline we had against Barcelona. Trent will probably see some minutes later on. But I've read somewhere that Trent is in week 7 of his 8-week recovery. I didn't even know that was a thing until today. So I don't know what that's about. But the fact that Trent didn't start over the weekend kind of guarantees Fede is starting at Anfield. Trent, if anything, will come on later on in the game, and then Fede will probably push forward higher up the pitch. So that's probably how we're going to set up defensively. There's no way Trent is starting. There's no way you're just going to start this game having not played for, what, a month, over a month. So he will come on probably later on, but this is definitely the defence in my view. The midfield, again, no question. I am pretty confident with this. We have Bellingham, Tchouaméni and Arda Guler. These three are definitely playing. The only thing is, and let's go to Vinny. Actually, let me get through Vinny as well. We've got Vinny and Mbappe up front. The only question mark, and the only thing I'm unsure of, is Camavinga, shown against Barcelona, he is phenomenal in those big games, in the midfield battles, in the games where you need to kind of dominate the midfield. So I'm kind of thinking, maybe Real Madrid don't play 4-3-3, and we don't play with Brahim. And maybe we play a sort of diamond formation. Something almost like this. So it will be a 4-3-3. There's someone will be occupying the right wing spot. It's just, it won't be a set person. So Jude could be here. Arda could be here. It don't matter. Anyone could be occupying that spot. But I just feel like we're going to be playing with 4 midfielders. I just feel like even with Mastantuono available, he is injured, he is out, and they don't even know for how long. He's got the same thing Lamine Yamal has. I'd never heard of this thing before Lamine Yamal, and now all of a sudden we've got two 18-year-olds with the same injury. Like, what is going on? And both of them from Real Madrid and Barcelona. What's going on? But anyway, I just feel like we're going to be playing with 4 midfielders even if he was fit. 4 midfielders. I just don't see what Brahim brings to the pitch and to the team that a Camavinga wouldn't defensively. Brahim offers the structure and the shape, but teams are so fluid and there's so much movement anyway. And how many times in games you see Bellingham over here, and then at other times in the games he's over here, and same with Arda, Guler, and same with Camavinga, etc. The only one that doesn't really move is Tchouaméni and Vinny. Everyone else kind of moves. Even Mbappe, sometimes he's on the left, sometimes he's on the right. Everyone kind of moves and shifts. So I just feel like away from home at Anfield, it didn't work against, what's-their-face? It didn't work against Atletico Madrid when we tried to play similar to this, but we didn't have Camavinga. Camavinga brings so much from his energy and his unpredictability and his willingness and ability to drive on the ball when he gets the ball that it makes no sense not to play him. And after the performance he had against Barcelona, it just seems fitting to give him another start in another big game. So I do think it will be set up like this somehow. Whether Cama occupies a right wing spot, he did against Barcelona very, very well. I don't know. He might do. But I just feel like Camavinga, Arda Güler, Jude Bellingham and Tchouaméni will be on that pitch. But anyway, I am going to call the video there. Let's just end off with the scoreline. The safe part of me wants to say it will be a draw. We'll get away from Anfield with a draw. But I have so much confidence, and we've been playing so well, that I just kind of feel like we'll win. And the way Liverpool's playing as well, I feel like we'll win. Whether it'll be by a 1-goal margin or a 2-goal margin, I don't know. But I feel like we will win because of how Liverpool have been playing and how we have been playing. You have to take form into consideration. Obviously, in big games, you can't rely on form alone because things change. But you have to take it under consideration. Confidence and form definitely play a massive part in football. But anyway, I am going to call the video there. I am very excited for tomorrow's game. Thanks for watching and peace.